Hi everyone, welcome to Do Daily Wednesday workout. It's Des here. Just looking to instill some midweek motivation to keep you going, to encourage activity, and of course just to check in at where we're at. For those that aren't of an activity persuasion, of course I just use this time every week, hump day, just to see where we're at and what we're doing. As much as I do like to encourage the activity, it's been a difficult one for me where I've not been able to do too much. Managed to get out for a walk this afternoon. Enjoyed that, although I felt really tired. I mentioned yesterday I was just feeling a bit under the weather. And that kind of continued into today. So it's been important just to keep trying to do the things I do the things that I try to do to stop on top of things which help me push on, to keep building the momentum. And that's something I really want to talk about today, is how we create good momentum and what we can do to keep that going forward. It's been a tricky week so far. We had some real good intentions at the start of the week, feeling a lot better about my arm injury, able to get out for a run, and I was hoping just to take that forward, just to take it into the new week, push on, see where I can get to by the end of the week. Of course, use the DOrunning sessions that I put on here in Nottingham, but to be honest, I've not been able to do it, and I'm actually really feeling not too good about it either. However, what I have done this week, and I spoke about this yesterday, is create some momentum in terms of working towards the bigger picture, trying to lose some weight, trying to get a little bit healthier, trying to be in a better position for when I can go out and sort of get out and get a lot of activity in. So I've got to realise that that's important as well, isn't it? I've been getting up early, that's important. And momentum is everything when you're trying to do things like this. It's really crucial in getting us going. The thing that stops us is a lack of it. And what I want to say is almost think of momentum like if you was starting a car, from a push start maybe. It's really tough to move, isn't it? But as soon as it gets going, it becomes a lot easier. A snowball at top of a hill, it sort of starts off slowly, doesn't it, before it really sort of rolls on, and becomes huge when you're building a snowman. Few examples there, but if you see what I mean there, it's really hard to get going with momentum, and this is what stops us doing everything we want to do, but what you have to do is just sort of work hard at it. I speak a lot about the sleep. I find it really hard to get up, and it's hard to get up some days. If you decide today you want to get up at 5 a.m, 5:30, 6 a.m, whatever time, if you've been getting up at 7 a.m, 8 a.m, the first one's always going to be difficult. But what we have to do with momentum is really work at it. Persevere. Within a day or two, well, not necessarily a day or two, within a day or two, a week or two, things will start becoming a bit more normal. Me, I started a brand new diet this week where I'm really trying to sort of lose a bit of weight, and those urges for the things I normally resort to, the stuff that I like to indulge in, they're there. I won't lie to you. I'm using it this week to kind of distract from everything else as well. So the momentum with this is sort of keeping me away from that. But those urges are there. What it's about at the moment is just sort of getting through it, getting deep into it. A week, 10 days, 2 weeks, 10 weeks, all those urges will start disappearing. And again, it's a lot easier to keep moving forward when you've done it. So it's really important to think about momentum and what that can do to get us going. It's what stops us, but if you can sort of crack it, if you can make that change, and Wednesday's always a good time to do this. I'm speaking about this purely because of my lack of activity, because I've hit a brick wall. I was talking to the guys at the running group tonight, at the start of last year, really sort of in the same frame of mind I am at the moment, trying to be a bit healthier, trying to be a bit fitter, working towards things. I was absolutely flying until March, April, from the start of the year. I actually put a post out there saying I feel good, and whilst we quite often feel good, we don't often feel confident enough to say I am actually feeling good right now. I felt like my skin looked good, and I looked as good as I can, looking like this. But you know what I mean, I was really feeling it, really felt confident about it. And then that momentum was taken away from me because I got injured. And ever since, I've kind of been battling that. You know, one thing's led to another. They might not be directly linked, but I got a leg injury. You know, I tried to get back from that. I'm trying to do it a bit unfitter than I have been. You know, I'm trying to do all these things all at once, and I've just lost the momentum. I've lost a bit of focus during the summer, a keenness and an eagerness to get back. You know, but what I'm saying is, if you can sort of put these things I've been working on this week, you know, getting up early, eating well, you know, sleeping well later on, you know, getting in activity where you can. Whilst I've lost a little bit because I thought I was going forward, you know, what I've realised is some of the momentum from the other things can transfer into what I'm doing. And that's really important to remember, isn't it? It's hard, you know, and a lot of people are put off when they say they're going to do this and they're going to go on this health kick, or they're going to make this change in their life, or they're going to stop doing this. They're put off because at the start it's really difficult. You know, everything step by step, day by day gets easier. I'll let you into a little secret of mine. When I'm on a weight loss mission, or I don't want to do something, you know, if I'm not drinking. Last year I didn't drink for 100 days. What I like to do is create just the most simplest spreadsheet. You know, I did this last year when I was on the weight loss and the drinking at the same time. You know, just put in weekly how much I lose, you know, just so I can record it, almost like a journal. And then what I did with the drinking was count down from 100. So I'd put 100, then I'd change it to 99 days. You know, this was a challenge. It wasn't necessarily to my next drink, although I did drink then, but you know what I mean. I was counting down rather than sort of thinking of 100 days. That seemed quite a lot. You know, if you can see it coming down, psychologically it was so much easier to do it that way. And all it was just a few words, a little bit of a table on a spreadsheet, and it really helped me get through. I talk about a lot about taking things one day at a time. You know, when the chips are down, when things aren't quite working. It's the same when things are good sometimes. You know, it's about working on one thing, working on something one day at a time, one step at a time. It's what I've had to do, you know, coming back from this injury. I'd love to have got out there today, got in my activity, you know, made the most of what I could do last week, but the momentum's been halted. But what I will do is find the positives in everything else, you know, and when I can do it again, you know, get out there and do it in a better place, you know, getting a few walks in. Whilst it's not easy, and I am really feeling under the weather because they've not been easy, and it's normally something I can do regardless of injury and illness, you know, but really struggled with that today too. So it's just important to use all those things, you know, try not to sort of lose the momentum too much. Be positive. That's the thing I'm clinging on to, the positivity, the momentum with the positivity. You know, I'm taking that forward, the momentum from starting a new diet well. You know, I'm in it. People have already said to me, well, perhaps you could have this, or don't go too hard. But that's daft, isn't it? I want to make this change. I think sometimes we can be a little bit guilty, and this is a problem with momentum as well. We can be a little bit guilty of thinking we deserve this, or we've earned this, you know, especially when it comes to diet. For example, you might work hard for 10 days and you might have lost some weight and you might have lost 10 pounds, and then all of a sudden I'll treat myself to a burger. Well, it's not that helped you lose the 10 pounds, is it? Because once you've had that burger, you've lost all your momentum. You know, you might have something else, you might have some chocolate, you know, you might have this. And I'm not saying you shouldn't treat yourself. Everybody should sort of reward themselves when it's necessary and where it's necessary. But the reality is, you know, until we sort of set in our ways with these things, it's important just to keep pushing on. You know, I'm trying day on day. I've been trying for a few years now to be that little bit better. And all it is building the momentum that little bit at a time. What I do always say to the guys around me, you know, the people who look in, is if it doesn't work, if it doesn't quite happen, you know, we go again. You know, we try and start building that momentum again, starting the car, pushing it till it gets that little bit easier. Because everything we do, you know, something else I've said throughout this is, if you do something 10 times, I read somewhere once, if you do it 10 times, you that becomes routine, that becomes reality. It's like just trying a new food. Again, with the diet, some of the food I'm eating is not as nice, but if you eat the same things 10 times, you start really enjoying them. That's the thing you'll crave, because your body feels it's a lot better for it. Whilst it's reaching out for some of the things I shouldn't have, right now it's probably, in time, it's going to start reaching out for the things I'm eating right now, and again, it all boils down to that thing I say about momentum. If we can sort of crack that, if we can realise that it's just about building it bit by bit. This is what Do Daily is. This is what this whole journey for me is just trying to be that little bit better each day, and when the hiccups arise, when the bad stuff sort of creeps in and takes its toll on us, it's just about going again. A Wednesday is the perfect time to sort of discuss this. I always talk about checking in, whilst I think activity is the best way to sort of pull myself out of a slump. That's why I'm really, really frustrated in that sense. But what I'm doing today, without the workout, I've managed to watch other people doing it. I've sort of passed on my thoughts to them about the importance of consistency and keep doing it. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. And I'm not saying things get particularly easy. They're just easier than they are from day one. The momentum builds up. You get yourself into good routines and habits, and then you start realising that you want that. You start a little bit of guilt sometimes when you've not done that. It's not the worst thing. If that's what you really, really want, it boils down to choice, doesn't it? At the end of the day, we've all got a choice with this thing of what we do, whether we do activity or not, whether we eat apples or whether we eat burgers. We've all got choice. But without working at it, without trying, it's so easy to slip into bad habits and the things you don't want to do. For me at the moment, it's just about building bit by bit, giving it a real go, trying my best. Despite the frustrations, we can find positives from other things. The momentum I've built through the diet, the momentum I've built through doing Do Daily and the routine of doing this, and the momentum I've built through putting on running clubs and being there for others, that's what I'm working off when I can't focus on my own actual fitness. But if I can use that momentum and draw it into that when I can do it, it's not all been wasted, has it? It's all useful, it's all an experience. And like I say, when it doesn't work, that's an experience too. Nothing to beat yourself up about in life, if something doesn't work. It's experience, it's what life is. We're only going to get one go at it, so we may as well put it behind us and focus on what we can control, and that's building momentum to enjoy and do and get the most out of the things we want to do. And that's the message I want to put across today, guys. Hopefully you've understood what I've said and you understand why I'm saying it. It is a really frustrating time for me, but that's all part of it, isn't it? Life is not straightforward. It's just about sort of dealing with the humps and bumps along the way on hump day. It's about getting over it, pushing on towards the end of the week, being positive, and making the absolute best of what we can. Until tomorrow and Thursday thoughts, I'm going to leave you now. I've got 1 or 2 jobs to do before watching today's I'm a Celebrity. Of course, that was the throwback question. What is your guilty pleasure TV programme? Not a massive watcher of TV, but I like that one. So I threw that question out just potentially to give other people ideas, a little bit of light-hearted way to get involved in the live session on a Thursday. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments below. I'd love that, plenty to go at, no matter what it is, whether it's about I'm a Celebrity, whether it's about momentum, running, how I'm feeling, what's my thoughts on COVID, anything that you feel is relevant, I'd love to answer. Please also drop us a thumbs up, a like, subscribe if you've not yet, creeping back up again, thankfully, after losing a couple last week. And then share it with anybody you think might be interested. If you can do all those things, you know, you'll help me build the momentum with this, and that's what it's about, isn't it? Keep working hard, keep finding ways to improve and take it forward. Until tomorrow and Thursday thoughts, just doing it.